Hey, this is Bo with Dorado, Soapstone in Texas. This video that we're doing today is all about the durability of different types of stones, and more specifically about staining. If you might remember from our first video, an introduction to soapstone, not all stones are created the same and not all stones react the same to the different wear and tear in a kitchen. So first, before we do the test, let's go ahead and talk about each different type of stone that we have here. This is our meanest soapstone. This is the same one that we used in the mineral oil video. It's naturally patinaed now, so that's how you can see that deep black background. This is a San Cecilia granite that has been sealed. This is a piece of white Carrara marble that has also been sealed. And this is an absolute black granite that's been honed. A honed absolute black. So in the kitchen, some of the things that are really potentially dangerous and very harmful for different types of stones can be things that have got a lot of acid and high alkalides. A lot of the things that are really common are going to be like lemons, for example, or just even your red wines. These are the two things that can either etch or stain and permanently damage your countertop. The olive oil as well, if left on your countertop for a prolonged period of time, depending on the stone, can leave a dull residue that's really hard to get out as well. So right now I'm going to put all three of these different kitchen products on these stones. We're going to come back in about 2 or 3 days and uncover them and see what's left. So first, we'll just take each one of these with the lemon. And again, the lemon can be very dangerous and leave a very dull etching on your stone. And we'll just take some red wine. And finally, just a drop of olive oil. Looks like somebody's been cooking. Okay, so here are the stones. We're going to let them sit here for a few days, and we'll come back and then talk about what we find. Okay, so it's been a few days since we last put the lemon and the olive oil and red wine on the surface of these 4 stones. Now we're going to clean them off and see what was left underneath and see which one fared better than some of the other ones. So first we'll take the lemons off. Really quickly, I'm going to clean today with this Clorox. You can use, at least on the soapstone, any household cleaner to clean it. Today I'm just going to use the Clorox and just a damp rag, and that's about it. I don't really need that too much. Just going to get some of that stuff off the surface here. Get some of that red wine off. There's some of the red wine that was on the surface there. And then this is just a dry rag. So I'm going to go back over just to dry it off a little bit so we can see exactly what's underneath the surface of each of these stones. Perfect, okay. And it looks to me like these things fared exactly how we would have predicted. So first we'll just go over the granite. So again, this is the San Cecilia granite. This stone, it did pretty well against the lemons and the olive oil. The one parts that you can see that it didn't do so well in was the red wine. As you can see, there's just a little bit. I'm going to have the camera come over here in just a second so we can take a look at it. But you'll be able to see there's a little bit of red staining in some of the white parts. That's due to the red wine. This one here, I'd say probably fared the least out of all of them. This is the white marble. This is stained really badly by the red wine and was etched pretty significantly by the lemon as well. Now again, we left it on there for a couple of days, which you probably wouldn't normally do, but you'll be able to see when we get the close-up just how much that was affected. Then here we've got the granite. The granite, again, it did pretty well with the oil. What it didn't do too well is, and we'll get closer here in a minute and take a look again, is there's a little lightening here, a little bit of etching from the lemon, and that you're going to have that with any honed, darker colored granites that aren't sealed and aren't protected. Any of sort of those acidic liquids, especially those lemons, are really going to etch the surface of those, and they're really going to kind of lighten it up, and we'll be able to see that in a second. And then finally, of course, is the soapstone. The soapstone wasn't affected by any of those. You can see that it's just kind of got that same all-around dark look, the same look that it had when it started. We'll come around again and do a little bit of a close-up, but basically there's no staining from the red wine, and there's no etching or any discoloration at all from the other products. So let's get the camera around here and just get a real quick close-up. Okay, so again, I just want to do a close-up here of the soapstone. As you can see, this is where the red wine was, and up here was where the lemon is. And you can see in all of the same coloring, it's very even throughout. It didn't etch it, it didn't stain it. You don't see any discoloration, and the stone is in perfect condition. Here now, this is the granite. And what I was talking about earlier is a little bit of those red wine stains you're going to be able to see right as some of those lighter colored quartz meet up with some of the darker colored quartz. That's where some of the liquid is able to seep in. And so right there, you're going to have all that sort of thing when you've got the a dark liquid sitting on the surface of your granite for a while. Here, this is the white marble again. See, all of this is the discoloration from the red wine. You can see that that was really affected, and even when we take a look at there, you can see how it seeps in. Now, everybody knows that the marble is a very porous stone, and I think this really shows it. One of the other things that people know about the marble is it does react, because of its high calcium content, it does react very differently to the to things with a lot of acid in it, such as the lemon. And so if you were able to feel this and rub your fingers over it like I am, you'll be able to feel it's very rough, and it even kind of changed the texture of the surface of the stone. Lastly, here is going to be your granite, and as you're going to be able to see right here in this area, that's where it's lightening up. You know, again, the lemon was there for a few days, and if you got a lot of use with a lot of things like lemon, lemon juice, alkalides, things like that in the kitchen, you're going to see a lot of spots like that start to develop all over your countertop over the lifetime. So that was that. I hope it's been informative. Call if you got any questions.